Definitely stakes on the line here.
So we're gonna see a massive engagement for that tower.
Yeah.
Especially with the slingers. Like, slingers need to get in the top of the hill as soon as possible. I imagine the first person to control that hill has the whole advantage in this match.
Yeah, pretty much. As long as they do it taking a point advantage as well. But you can
Of
see
course.
there is a little plateau on one of the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how to describe it better, to be honest. There's a huge pile of rocks on one side and there's a plateau on the other. And from this plateau, slingers have a slightly better arc on towards the hill, which I can't remember which side spawns where. I think Aquila took this side with the plateau, and so their slingers should have a slight advantage firing onto the hill.
We're just gonna have to see how it plays out.
I imagine the Hannibal swords are probably going to go through the forest on the flank.
Definitely.
Okay, so me and you are just on the forest on the bottom side, yeah?
Well, I'm going top side to avoid
Okay.
all that stuff.
Capture the enemy base or kill all enemy forces. Let Polonica lead your blades.
All right, over here on the Sons of Zeus, we have Dionysus headed for the tower, along with Chidog. He's gonna get that vision in the middle, spreading out his cavalry so he can get vision all over the map.
We have Rex with the Germanicus swords rushing up towards the tower. No Cav going for the tower, actually. The Cav just waiting in the long grass mainly. Naris and Nomadic Fighter travelling with the Germanicus swords, followed by another Germanicus swords and the elephants, all rushing towards that tower. Should be a bloodbath.
All right, so Chidog just missed getting hit by the slingers from AP. In fact, it looks like the Sons of Zeus are going to go very heavily on the defense and spread themselves out. They're going to have a very thin line protection.
Interesting.
So
They've given up the tower. They realise that perhaps the slingers have a slight advantage on this side, and they just want to, yeah, we're going to take that. Actually, crucially, AP have to push because it's 999 versus 1,000. They're a single point down. If the time click goes to 0, that means that Sons of Zeus win. So they have to push towards the grass.
I'm guessing when they did their shots, they friendly fired, trying to hit Chidog. He had to have friendly fired himself to get that 1 point disadvantage. So now they're forced to attack.
And Aquila are taking this very methodically. They're waiting. They're thinking about their approach, and spreading out across the map. They're just sort of. Oh, so we've just gotten vision of the enemy slingers, Pelasgos slingers, and he gets shots onto Thor, and more damage. A tiny bit more damage.
If you'll pay attention, look in the backline, Chidog, look, Thor and Chidog, they're taking their time, they're being very patient, getting some vision, and we got Tanaphils on the left flank over here. Looks like he's a little isolated by himself.
Yeah, he's away from his team, trying to take control of the right flank. He's seen that. So far, the impression for the Aquila team is that Sons of Zeus are camping around their own tower. And so that's given Tannenfels license to go out by himself on the right flank.
If he's not careful, though, he could be quickly encompassed by the enemy team.
So the elephants have been sent out ahead to get vision of the grass. We can now see up to Tiberius and Dionysus towards the back of the grass. And now perhaps they might try and take a point advantage. Currently, it's 999 versus 999.
Tiberius is moving forward, so he's going to scare off Lord Bobik, which is actually in turn going to allow Pelasgos to shoot the elephants in the back and deal some nice little bits of damage.
Oh.
Just slowly get more and more point advantage.
Yeah, and they seem to be backing off, but they haven't got the point advantage. Pelasgos is continuing to shoot those elephants.
Really massively different match compared to first one.
Yeah.
And second.
Just a
Both teams are definitely being methodical and taking their time.
for sure. And it's interesting. It's all about trying to get the point advantage and to get the other team to come towards you. We've got advancements towards the tower. Trigods and Thor have just been matching each other across the entire map. And Thor has thrown fire onto Trasamensis. It's only onto an elephant, but that tiny bit more damage, plus the slingers, means that they can now back off onto the hill.
I feel this is going to be a point match, deciding who gets the most points each time, and taking that advantage to force the other player to pressure them.
The slingers are exchanging fire, and Naris managed to take perhaps a narrow advantage over Pelasgos. Trigods is the target of the slingers.
That's not good for Chai Dog. He needs to get out of there before he takes more damage.
So they're just hiding around this rock with the test judo and nomadic fighter hiding, so that if Sons of Zeus ever come up them, they'll just spring the trap.
Pelasgo's taking a nasty bit of damage. He's already down about 70% health, and almost half of his models are gone.
So, yeah, go on.
No, go ahead.
So what Naris is doing is that they're both standing in the test judo, whilst Pelasgos is not quite in the test judo. He wins any fight. A nomadic fighter gets a hull
damage
onto Pelasgos.
Nasty damage on yeah.
Oh, and the jabs are just walking up to Naris, getting into range. A little bit of damage there as well.
This is a interesting, very, very defensive fight going on. This is going to be all dependent on the range. That was a nasty javelin shot on Rex 4312. It's
just constant range fire, whilst the Germanicas just walk around and test judo. But they're clumping up quite now, and Terrasimensis is getting in with the elephant.
Chai Dog's getting behind, so the range cannot push behind their troops.
Oh, Chai Dog's play. Oh, it seemed like he was just about to go into a charge there. He's putting so much pressure on Nomadic Fighter.
Nomadic could be the deciding factor on Nomadic.
Oh, he just pressures them. He just doesn't go for the charge. Just constantly pressures them.
That's a big thing on high skill play. You don't necessarily have to engage. Just putting that pressure allows for those range not to fire, while the other team's range have that opportunity just to keep laying down the fire.
And Tannenfels is winning this engagement against the hoplite and is now going towards Pelasgos. And Thor is getting in. Pelasgos' slingers are all getting surrounded by the enemy team.
That was an excellent play by Tannenfels and Thor. That's going to eliminate Pelasgos' firepower out of the match. Completely worth the sacrifice. They're going to do some damage to Tiberius Brutus as well. Well played play by Thor and Tannenfels.
And Lord Bobek's elephants are dying to the pikes as Tiberius advances with the pikes. One survives by the sliver of its last HP.
This is actually going to be very interesting, because now we have Trasimenus only has one elephant. The other team has one that's nearly dead, and one that is about 70% health. Look at Tiberius over here on the left flank. He's caught with fight in the shade. He's got nothing on these pikes. He's going to get surrounded and probably encompassed. That's another pike down.
Yep. And the battle is still incredibly close as we come towards the finish. 7 minutes 50 to go, but half the teams are already dead. The range advantage must go to AP.
Yeah, they have the range advantage without a doubt. I mean, Hellsun Zeus, his javelins are nearly completely gone. He's got a total of 20 models. That doesn't have much firepower. Pelasgos, he's only got about 13 models. That's nothing in comparison to Naris. All they have to do is do a nice little retreat, and they can just slowly win the point game due to their range advantage.
Yeah, but Sons of Zeus still have a chance of winning this game. They have perhaps a slight infantry advantage with Tiberius pushing the front line, but he's getting cut off, and now he's getting surrounded as well by Rex.
That's not going to be good for him.
So whilst
he's going to get his pikes down at some point, and then he can do some damage, but Tannenfels was able to take out the spears for Tiberius in the back line. He's just harassing them in the back now.
Tannenfels is they seem to turn back and go towards Tannenfels for a moment, and then decide, no, we're pushing before. There's a lot of hesitation on the hill in this Sun Tzu team.
It's looking like this match is going to be over. I mean, they're losing their star player, Tiberius. His pikes literally just got caught alone. He can't even get his pikes down. So he's in a bad spot where he just was not able to deal the damage expected.
It all comes down to this final infantry push. Can Hell Sun Tzu and V Rabies push onto this Germanicus infantry, perhaps win the fight and close the gap?
I think it's going to be big on Hell Sun Tzu somehow getting to those range since he's a Sulla medium player.
Perhaps.
And Chidog got into the range.
Yeah, and then Thor quickly picked him off and Disaster Struck. The infantry fight between the two Germanicus, and Disaster Struck gets the charge.
Ooh, Disaster Struck's got Vici out, keeping Vrabies from even getting Vengeance. So that's just horrible on Vrabies. He's not going to be able to get his Vengeance off, and he's just going to get picked apart by Disaster Struck.
Chai Dogs gets an incredible charge onto Naris, wiping out almost for all 3 units, only a couple Milders left, and still gets out with the unit. Could be game-changing. Trasamensis is fighting both elephants, peeling away, trying to get someone to kill that one almost dead elephant before he engages. Tannenfell's now coming in from the back lines.
That's going to stop the elephant, and it's going to be enough that he's going to lose that elephant to both Lord Bobik's elephants, without a doubt.
And Sons of Zeus' frontline has just collapsed. V Rabies getting surrounded and killed by the multiple Germanicuses that he's outnumbered by. Chai Dog's charge, I mean, he got into the range several times, putting so much pressure, but eventually it just Tannenfels with his flank, with the elephants and Thor, just worked on Palaskos. They turned what was very close game into their advantage, kited them all the way back to their base, and won the game.
Honestly, that was great work by Tannenfels. Both teams were taking their time. They're being very methodical. Tannenfels, being that he is such a fast unit, he's pretty safe traveling by himself. He saw the point of opportunity. He took out Palaskos with 2 of his units, along with working with Thor. That was probably the game changer right there, getting that range advantage on AP.
I mean, if Palaskos still had all his slingers as they're going down the hill, that's so many free shots into the enemy's backs that he can get. He can kill the jabs, perhaps get some damage on the Germanicus, kill the enemy slingers, and it just turned the game around in their favour.
Indeed, and that's the end of the third match, with AP winning the match.
Perhaps some people might even say it's a bit of a shock, to be honest. Sun Tzu came into this game being, in my opinion, the very, very slight favourites, but AP are just able to take the victory anyway. It wasn't easy for them. It took 3 games. They lost the second. The third one has been incredibly close, winning by only about 100 points.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's just one big play can really turn these games around.
I have to say, congratulations